Kiwi English Podcast. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the podcast. This is your cozy corner for natural English practice and real-life conversations. I'm Jayden.
And I'm Aria. We are so happy to have you here with us today.
Hi! Kiwi here, ready to help you learn English.
Now, before we jump into today's topic, we have one tiny favor to ask. If you enjoy listening to us, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. It really helps other English learners find us.
Exactly. And we would also love it if you left a comment down below. It can be super simple. Just tell us where you're listening from or share your thoughts on today's topic.
Don't worry about mistakes. Even one sentence is awesome.
And you know what? Typing a comment is actually a great way to practice your English without even realizing it. Your brain is working, choosing vocabulary, putting words in order. It is real practice.
That is so true. So please, don't be nervous about making mistakes. Even just one short sentence is totally fine. We genuinely love reading your thoughts.
Yes, small steps, big progress. You can do it.
All right, are you ready? Let's get right into today's topic.
Welcome to Kiwi English Podcast. Today, we are learning how to start small talk in English. One small sentence can open a friendly conversation.
Have you ever wanted to talk to someone in English, but you had no idea how to start?
Yes, you see someone friendly, maybe a coworker, a neighbor, or someone in class. You want to say something, but your brain just becomes empty.
Exactly. You think, should I say hello? Should I ask a question? What if it sounds strange? What if they do not want to talk?
And after thinking for too long, the moment is gone.
That is the worst part. You did not say anything, but inside your head, you already had a whole conversation with yourself.
A very stressful conversation.
Yes. So today we are talking about how to start small talk in English.
Small talk is not deep conversation. It is light, friendly conversation.
Right. It can be about the weather, the weekend, the place you are in, the food, work, class, or something simple around you.
And for English learners, small talk is very useful because it helps you enter daily conversations without too much pressure.
Exactly. You do not need perfect English. You just need a simple opening line.
Let us start with a real scene.
Okay. Imagine you're in an elevator. You see your neighbor. You have seen this person many times, but you have never really talked.
The elevator is the most awkward small talk place.
It really is. You're standing very close, looking at the door, pretending the floor numbers are extremely interesting.
Very relatable.
You want to say something, but you only have maybe 20 seconds.
So you do not need a big topic.
Exactly. In that situation, you can start with something simple like, busy day today.
That is short and natural.
Or, cold outside today.
Or, nice weather today.
Yes. Weather is classic because it is safe. Everyone experiences it.
If the neighbor answers, yes, it is freezing, you can add, I know, I should have worn a warmer jacket.
That is already small talk.
Simple, light, and friendly.
Exactly. Small talk does not need to become a long conversation every time. Sometimes the goal is just to become a little more familiar.
That is an important point. Small talk is not always about becoming best friends. Sometimes it is just about making the next hello easier.
Useful idea. Small talk makes the next hello easier.
That is a good way to think about it.
Yes. Many learners put too much pressure on themselves. They think every conversation needs to be interesting.
But small talk can be simple.
Very simple. Let us give the first small talk formula.
Okay.
Notice something around you. Make a short comment, then add a small question.
Notice, comment, question.
Exactly. For example, you are at a coffee shop. The line is long. You can say, "It is busy today," right?
That is natural because both people can see the same thing.
Yes. Or you can say, "This place always smells so good." Do you come here often?
That is a little more friendly.
Exactly. You're not asking something too personal. You're just using the shared environment.
Shared environment is important.
Yes. If you do not know what to say, look around. What do you both see? What are you both experiencing?
At a bus stop, you can say, "The bus is late again."
At work, you can say, "Busy morning today."
In class, you can say, "That assignment was harder than I expected."
At a party, you can say, "This food looks really good."
Those are all easy openings.
Exactly. You do not need a perfect topic. You need a shared topic.
Let us talk about weather small talk.
Classic.
Some people think weather talk is boring.
It can be boring if you only say, "It is cold."
Yes.
But it becomes natural when you add a small reaction.
For example, "It is freezing today. I was not ready for it."
Or, "It is gorgeous outside. I wish I could be outside instead of working."
That one is very real.
Or, "It has been raining all week. I really miss the sun."
Weather plus feeling.
Yes, weather plus feeling is a great pattern.
Let us create a work scene. You walk into the break room. Your coworker is making coffee. You want to start a conversation?
You can say, "It is so cold outside today."
They might say, "Yes, I know."
Then you can add, "I'm already ready for spring."
That is friendly.
Yes, and if you want to continue, ask, "Do you like winter?"
That is a simple question.
Exactly. But do not ask too many questions too fast.
Right? Otherwise, it feels like an interview.
Small talk should feel like passing a ball, not taking a test.
Remember, small talk is like passing a ball. Ask a little, share a little.
That is a perfect image.
Yes. If you only ask questions, the other person may feel pressure. If you only talk about yourself, they cannot join.
So the balance is ask a little, share a little.
Exactly.
Let us talk about weekend small talk.
This is one of the most useful topics at work or school.
On Monday, people ask, "How was your weekend?"
And on Friday, people ask, "Any plans for the weekend?"
Very common.
If you want to start small talk on Monday, you can say, "Did you have a good weekend?"
Simple and natural.
Or, "How was your weekend?"
If it is Friday, say, "Do you have any plans for the weekend?"
Yes. Or, "Are you doing anything fun this weekend?"
That sounds friendly.
And if someone asks you back, do not only say good or nothing.
Add one small detail.
Exactly. If they ask, "How was your weekend?" you can say, "It was nice. I stayed home and watched a movie."
Or, "It was pretty busy. I had to run some errands."
Or, "It was quiet, but I needed that."
That sounds very natural.
And if they ask, "Any plans for the weekend?" you can say, "Not much. I might just relax at home."
Or, "I am planning to meet a friend for coffee."
Or, "I need to catch up on sleep."
That one is very real.
Very real, weekend small talk is useful because it is personal, but not too personal.
It gives people a chance to share a little.
Yes. And if they mention something interesting, ask one follow-up question.
For example, they say, "I went hiking."
You can ask, "Where did you go?"
They say, "I watched a movie."
You can ask, "Was it good?"
They say, "I tried a new restaurant."
You can ask, "What kind of food was it?"
That is how small talk continues.
Exactly. Start simple, then follow the topic.
Let us talk about compliments.
Compliments can be a nice way to start small talk, but they should feel natural.
Yes, not too intense.
Exactly. You can say, I like your jacket. That color looks great.
Or, nice mug. Where did you get it?
Or, your notebook is cute. I love the design.
The best compliment small talk often includes a question.
Yes. Compliment plus question.
I like your bag. Where did you get it?
That book looks interesting. Are you enjoying it?
That lunch smells good. Did you make it?
Very natural.
Let us create a class scene. You sit next to someone. They have a notebook with a cute design.
You can say, I like your notebook. Where did you get it?
They say, "Oh, I got it online."
Then you can say, nice. I always buy notebooks and then never use them.
That is funny and relatable.
Exactly. Small humor helps.
And now the other person may laugh and say, "Same."
Now you have a connection.
That is a good example of small talk becoming warm.
Yes, compliment. Question, small personal detail.
Useful pattern. Compliment. Question. Small personal detail.
Let us talk about small talk at work.
Work, small talk needs to be friendly, but not too personal.
Good point.
You can start with simple work-related comments. Busy day today. Or, this morning went by so fast.
Or, I cannot believe it is already Friday.
That one is always useful.
Very useful.
You can ask, how is your day going?
Simple and safe.
Or, have you tried the coffee from the place downstairs?
Food and drinks are always safe topics.
Yes. You can also say, I'm thinking of trying that new lunch place nearby. Have you been there?
That can lead to recommendations.
Exactly. People often enjoy giving recommendations.
What should we avoid at work?
At the beginning, avoid very private topics. Salary, personal relationships, serious family problems, strong politics, or gossip.
So do not start small talk with, "How much money do you make?"
Please do not.
Or, "Why did that coworker leave?"
Also no.
Safe topics first.
Yes, weather, weekend, food, local places, light work topics, hobbies.
Small talk is about safety and comfort.
Exactly.
Let us talk about small talk with strangers.
This can feel scary.
Yes, but sometimes it is very normal. At a bus stop, in a line, at an event, or with a cashier.
The key is to keep it light and optional.
Optional means the other person can answer or not.
Exactly. If someone seems busy, tired, or not interested, do not push.
What are good stranger small talk lines?
At a bus stop, you can say, the bus is taking a while today.
At a long line, you can say, "This line is moving slowly."
At a store, you can say, this place is always busy on weekends.
At an event, you can say, "Is this your first time here?"
That one is very useful.
If they answer warmly, continue. If they answer shortly, let it go.
Yes, that is an important social skill.
Not every small talk attempt needs to become a conversation.
Exactly. Sometimes a small comment is enough.
Let us talk about how to sound natural, not robotic.
Good. Many learners have learned phrases like, how are you? I'm fine, thank you. And you?
Classic textbook English.
It is correct, but in casual conversation, it can sound a little formal.
What sounds more natural?
You can say, how is it going?
Or, how is your day going?
Or, how have you been?
How have you been is good when you have not seen someone for a while.
Exactly. If you see a coworker every day, how is your day going is natural.
If you see a friend after 2 months, how have you been is better.
Yes.
What are natural answers?
Pretty good. Not bad. A little busy, but good.
Or, doing okay? How about you?
Exactly. Always remember to ask back.
Ask back keeps the conversation alive.
Yes.
Small phrase. Pretty good. How about you?
That phrase is simple and very useful.
Let us talk about the first sentence.
The first sentence is often the hardest.
Yes. Once you start, the conversation usually becomes easier.
So prepare a few first sentences.
Exactly. For weather, say, beautiful day today.
For work, say, busy morning today.
For weekend, say, any plans for the weekend.
For events, say, is this your first time here?
For compliments, say, I like your jacket. Where did you get it?
For food, say, that looks good. Did you make it?
These are small, safe, and natural.
Let us create a full sample conversation.
Okay. Let us imagine we are two people at a community event.
I will start. Hi, is this your first time here?
Yes. Actually, I was a little nervous before coming.
Same here. I did not know what to expect, but it seems friendly so far.
Yes. Everyone seems nice. How did you hear about this event?
A coworker told me about it. I am trying to meet more people in the area.
That is nice. I'm trying to do the same thing. I moved here not too long ago.
Oh, really? How are you liking the area so far?
I like it. I'm still learning where everything is. But I found a really nice cafe nearby.
Nice. I am always looking for good cafes. What is it called?
It is called Maple Corner. It is small, but very cozy.
That sounds great. I might try it this weekend.
You should. Their coffee is really good.
Thanks for the recommendation. It was nice talking to you.
You too. Maybe I will see you at the next event.
That conversation was simple, but it worked.
Yes. It started with one easy question.
Then we shared small details,
We asked follow-up questions.
and we ended politely.
That is small talk.
Not perfect. Just friendly.
Exactly.
Let us talk about what to do if the conversation becomes awkward.
First, do not panic.
A little silence is normal.
Yes, if you want to continue, you can use a bridge phrase.
Like what?
By the way, have you tried the food here?
Or, speaking of weekends, do you have any plans?
Or, that reminds me, have you been to the new cafe nearby?
Bridge phrases help you move to another topic.
Yes, but if the conversation naturally ends, that is okay too.
You can say, it was nice talking to you.
Or, I should get going, but I hope you have a good day.
Polite ending.
Exactly. Small talk does not have to last forever.
That is important. Sometimes learners think if a conversation ends, they failed.
Not true. A short, friendly conversation is still successful.
The goal is connection, not length.
Exactly.
Let us review the main small talk tools.
First, use the shared situation. Weather, place, line, food, work, or event.
Second, use easy questions. How is your day going? Any plans for the weekend? Is this your first time here?
Third, add one small detail when you answer.
Fourth, ask the question back.
Fifth, use compliments carefully and naturally.
Sixth, avoid very private topics at the beginning.
Seventh, use bridge phrases if you need to change topics.
And finally, end politely when the conversation is finished.
That is a good toolbox.
And none of it requires advanced English.
Exactly. Small talk is built with small sentences.
Small sentences, friendly tone, real curiosity.
That is the secret.
Kiwi's tip: start with what you both can see. Add one small question.
Perfect tip.
Yes. If you feel stuck, look around and start there.
Try this phrase. Is this your first time here?
And that is all for today's episode of Kiwi English Podcast.
We hope this conversation helped you feel more comfortable starting small talk in English.
This week, try one small talk sentence with a coworker, neighbor, classmate, or cashier.
Keep it simple, keep it friendly. Keep it light.
Small hello. Warm conversation. See you next time.